Today, we are joined by an expert in product to influencer marketing. She's going to give us the celebrity access blueprint today. It is Sarah Shaw from sarahshawconsulting.com. Sarah Shaw, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mark. Glad to be here.
Sarah, it is absolutely my pleasure. I love what you've done, and you've really leveraged the power of celebrities and influencers to absolutely explode your businesses. And I kind of want to start here, and this might sound obvious, but I want to hear it from you, Sarah. What was that moment, that aha moment, where you realized the power of celebrity influence to sell products?
Long time ago, I used to work in the film business doing costumes, and after I'd started my handbag company, I was having dinner with the costume designer that I worked with for many years, and she was complaining that she was being forced to use Donna Karan clothes in a movie, that they were giving them for free. The producers were like, "That's it, sister, this is what you're doing." And she's, was screaming, "It's not right," and I wasn't even listening anymore. I was having my aha moment of, I am such an idiot. Why didn't I think of this? But if Donna Karan is doing it, I'm going to do it. So that was really the moment that I decided that it was a good idea to get products to celebrities. And I had no idea how to do it. This was like, I don't know, 1999. So nobody was really on email that much yet, or not the important people. And so I just kind of went about looking. I lived in LA, so I was looking up agents and producers, and I didn't know who to go to or how to get to these people. So anyway, I just started getting stuff, calling up and saying, "Hey, can I send a bag, to Sarah Jessica Parker or Liv Tyler, or, whoever I wanted to do at the time." And, they just kind of said, "Okay." So I sent it, and then they started showing up in magazines wearing my stuff. I never got a thank you note. I didn't know that it was ever happening. But once I got those pieces of press, I realized, I started sending that out to stores and other magazines. And I had a website by then. And so I had some online shoppers, signed up on my Constant Contact at the time. And it just started to propel my business forward. People want to be like, the famous people they admire.
Yeah. So just kind of recap this. Someone like Sarah Jessica Parker has your handbag holding your product on a People magazine, for example. And then you would take that and you would use that as almost like social proof that you've got a great product, right? And send it out to.
Exactly. Yeah. This was in the old days of, no scanning. It was Xerox it and print it and send it out to people.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Hands
so
on.
that kind of segues really well, Sarah, into my next question here, because I want to kind of walk all the after hours entrepreneurs kind of through this whole thought process, right? Because nowadays there is no end to influencers, right? Totally. You on Instagram, everyone's an influencer. My grandma's an influencer. Everyone's an influencer. So how do we actually choose which celebrities and which influencers that we should be working with?
Good question. So you really want to make sure that whoever you choose resonates with the people you want to purchase from you, right? So, we could stick with Sarah Jessica Parker. If you like her as an actress and think she's cool or hip, but your customers don't resonate with her at all, well, she's dead to you. You may want to get something to her for your own ego, which is one thing, right? But if you're looking to get people to whip out their wallet, she's not the one perhaps for your customer. So you want to really look at who they speak to, who their constituents are, in a sense, right? Who are their followers? What kind of comments do they leave? Can you tell, if you're selling a baby product, obviously you want mommies, if it's some super hipster, she might not be speaking to mommies, so you really want to make sure that whether it's a, lower scale influencer or an A-list celebrity, right? There's everybody in between, right? The whole alphabet. So depending on who it is, if it's something that's inexpensive and you're just kind of willy-nilly, let's just throw, $200 at this and see what happens, that's not a big expense. But if it's, sharing a percentage of the sales or paying $250,000 for someone to, hey, I love my iPhone case, right? That's a big difference. So you want to make sure that they're going to get people to do whatever it is you want. You're looking for website clicks or Facebook likes or Instagram likes or selling product, you just want to make sure that those people will take action.
Yeah. So this is actually, I think, really, really important, is knowing the audience of the influencer that you're going to be working with. One of the things I've found really interesting is I was watching a video from Jason Capital, just, big influencer over on TikTok. He's got like 1 million followers. And he was stating that there's a ton of bikini models out there, right? But they're not well positioned to sell bikinis, right? Because that's not what they're selling. They're selling sex, right? So they're selling basically ED pills is what they can sell, right? So I just thought it was really funny because it's not something I'd thought about before, so knowing the other thing you see a lot on Instagram, someone will have 100,000 followers, but they get 3 likes per post.
I was just going to bring that up. So that's the other thing. I feel like with social media, anybody can buy followers.
Right.
That's a given, right? So you want to really make sure that people are actually interacting, because it's super easy to hit that like button, whether it's Facebook or the heart on Instagram or whatever, right? Yes, I like it, right? You're sitting in bed and you're, working the phone, but it's another thing to actually leave a comment or even to put an emoji or whatever. But that secondary advance of an action is what I think what really is telltale for how much people are actually kind of into this influencer or will do what they say.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mark here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let YouTube know you're enjoying this video. Let me know you're enjoying this video. All right, let's get back into this episode. So let's kind of say that we've found some influencers that we like, some celebrities, for example, that we really like. I would assume that they're getting blown up with messages every day, all day, and you don't probably have the resources as a startup or as a business just to be sending out your product to everyone willy-nilly, right? So how can we actually get to these people? Should we be sending them snail mail? Should we be emailing, DMing? How can we actually get a celebrity or an influencer to pick up the phone?
Well, so what we really like to do is, we're talking about like real celebrities, people on TV or movies, Yeah. I mean, there's the influencers and then there's the celebrities. So with a real, what I call real celebrities, famous people all over the world, we go through their gatekeepers. And so through contactanyscelebrity.com, you can find their gatekeepers, and it'll have their managers and publicists and agents, and sometimes their lawyers and all these, people you're never going to contact. We usually start by sending an email to those people, usually the publicist or the manager, and introducing the product. If it was me, sending it about myself, right? Hey, I'm Sarah. My name's Sarah Shaw. This is my company. I make this, and I think that so-and-so would like it because of these reasons. Could we send one to your office? Or like right now, we're pitching some clothing for a client, and we want the celebrity to pick out the color and the style because we want them to really wear it. So we've asked for them to interact with the celebrity. Hey, we want to send this. And they're like, oh yeah, she'd love this. And like, great, pick the color and the style and we'll send it out. Right. And so because you really want to make sure you don't want to just, send out things and just have it go to their maid or the garbage or whatever. Right. Next door neighbor garage sale. So you really are hoping that they're going to love it and use it. And if you make this sweater, for example, right, and you see somebody only wears black, you're never going to send them a pink sweater. But if this is your hottest selling sweater and you go and do a Google search and, celebrities that wear pink, and you see 14 women that wear pink, maybe 3 of them would be your target market. Not all of them will be. So you really want to be selective in how you choose the products to send, the people you send them to, and then in the approach. And if you don't get answers directly back from the gatekeepers, which you usually do, I mean, people think, like you were saying, millions of people are contacting them all the time, right? But they're not. They're mostly too afraid. Most people don't do it. So don't be afraid.
Because I think that, it's really easy to get caught up in, I'm just going to DM them on Instagram or on Facebook, which is, going to be completely saturated.
It may be, yes.
I like the idea.
That's how I got to Barbara Corcoran. I just DM'd her on Facebook and said, hey, I want to interview you. And in 30 seconds, she wrote me back and said, great, you have to talk to my assistant, and gave me her email.
Oh, that's amazing. I love Barbara. She is definitely a shark. She is a serious shark. Love her. So this is really cool because I think that a lot of people either get paralyzed there or they don't know what to do, right? And I think just
Right.
starting, getting it out there is really important. But the other thing is finding a way to actually stand out. How much customization should we be putting into our notices and to our emails to these celebrities and their go throughs?
Hmm. So, kind of like I was saying, if you were looking for, if this was your best selling pink sweater and you wanted to find other celebrity women with pink sweaters who wear pink, right? You can specifically Google that. Or if you have a baby product and you're Googling, I don't know, women with 2-year olds, because that's the target audience for your product, or you have a newborn product, or you sell jewelry but you make chunky beaded necklaces, so you're going to look for celebrities that wear you know bigger, chunkier necklaces,
So
right?
might you
Not
say something in your email, like at the body of your email, like, I have this beautiful pink
yes,
sweater. I think it would really match these shorts or something.
right. Or I've seen lots of photos of Mark wearing his blue shirt all the time, right? And we make this amazing, these 3 blue shirts. We'd love to send him one. Blue looks like it's his favorite color. So yes, it can be definitely personalized that way. But it could also be generalized, like, oh, Mark just had a baby, and we want to send him these baby bottles or baby
Oh, I
blankets
like
as a
that.
gift. So it can kind of go both ways, more general about the situation or more personal about something that they wear that you've noticed.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it probably doesn't hurt to try different methods, right? I mean, there's a little bit of learning from your mistakes and
Mhm.
finding out what works, because what might resonate with one person might not resonate with another.
Exactly.
I mean, I know for me, for example, I respond a lot better to DMs and to messages that are catered, or at least let me know that that person's actually interested in me. It's not just some
Mhm.
spammy thing that they're sending out to 200, 300, 400 people, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, and you can always tell when it's spammy.
Right, right.
Delete.
Right. Like if the name is a different font than the rest of the body of the email or something
Yes,
like that.
right.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And it takes a little bit more work, but it'll probably pay off. And quite frankly, if you don't
Totally
have the
pays off.
yeah, if you don't have the time, you can maybe hire someone to do some of that legwork for you.
Mhm.
You know? So let's assume that we've reached out, we've gotten someone. They say, sure, send us over your product, and let's take the pink shirt for example, right?
Yeah.
So we're celebrating, we're telling all our friends, we're like, we're gonna make it big, right? What do we actually want to send them to make sure that they wear it and they don't give it to the maid or it never gets
Yeah.
worn? We make sure that it actually shows up on Instagram. How can we actually make sure that that product goes to a good use?
Well, so we like to put a personalized letter inside the gift, and you want to wrap the gift as if it was a gift, like
Mm,
holiday or birthday gift, in wrapping paper, maybe with a ribbon, and uh, and then put that inside the shipping box.
mhm.
Just so that when the agent or the manager, the publicist, whoever's getting it, opens it to make sure it's not a bomb, and um, and then sees oh, this is for Susie Celebrity. Then when the person opens the box, because I can't imagine that anybody's agent or manager would actually open a gift wrapped box that is meant for one of their clients. So
Right.
they'll give them, this beautiful box with a bow. And then inside that box is the letter, Dear Susie Celebrity, I've seen you wearing a ton of pink. It looks like it might be your favorite color. This is our best selling sweater. Looks like it's your style. We hope you love it. If you want anything else from us, please let us know. You can contact us directly or through your manager, Susie manager, and we will send you whatever you want. You
Love
know,
that.
something like that. I mean, I don't really ever ask for people to post or share because that feels creepy to me.
And it's
Um,
probably almost like an unsaid thing. Like they
yeah,
understand why you're sending it to them.
of course. And, like speaking of Sarah Jessica Parker, a few months ago, well, maybe 6 months ago now, with COVID, I have COVID brain, time warp. But a woman in one of my programs sent a hat to Sarah Jessica Parker that she has a knitting company, and sent her this really pretty hat and some other things. And she posted about it right away on Instagram, posted a gorgeous photo and tagged her and said, who am I to receive this gorgeous gift, and how generous, and blah, blah, blah. And there must have been 25 or 30,000 likes within, I don't
Yeah.
know, an hour.
I mean, that type of exposure will absolutely explode your business. And Shara, Sarah Shaw is dropping all the knowledge bombs here. You can go to sarahshawconsulting.com for a free strategy call. She's going to walk you through an exact strategy, right? Can only touch the tip of the iceberg here, but she's going to take you way in depth, because I can tell you from personal experience, I've interviewed some pretty big name celebrities on previous shows. And as soon as that celebrity puts it out on their Instagram, boom, hundreds of downloads, thousands of downloads from people that you maybe have never spoke to or didn't even know you existed until that happens. And the other cool thing is with a lot of celebrities, they're not posting on Instagram like 5 or 6 times a day, right? So they post once and it might be up on that wall for other people to see for in some sort of perpetuity or residuality. I don't know if that's a word, but I'll go with it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I love that. I love that. So we've gotten our pink sweater to Sarah Jessica Parker. She's wearing it. She actually posted on Instagram. Then what should we do? Should we start like spamming that out everywhere, showing everyone, using that social proof? What should we do?
Get it everywhere you can. Yeah, take a screenshot. Obviously, share that within your Instagram. Take screenshots, put it on all your other social channels, and then if you sell online to what I call online shoppers, right? Get that out in an email right away. Often what I recommend is people, maybe you offer a coupon code on the pink sweater that she's wearing, SJP pink sweater or something is the coupon code, get 25% off today, encourage people to purchase it right then and there. It's like, here today, gone tomorrow. Get it out to the media, any magazines you've been trying to get into, any celebrity magazines, the People's and Us Weeklies and those. And then also just if you're selling wholesale, you want to get that out to your stores right away. So you want to make it look as fancy as possible. Like I wouldn't just do a screenshot of her Instagram to send out to stores or the media. I'd do the Instagram with a picture of her, Sarah Jessica Parker has our pink sweater, something so that it's a little bit more, it fills up the page a little bit
almost
more.
Almost like a media kit, right? Where
like a single page that you could, easily, like you could print it out and a store could put it next to the pink sweaters. So you want to make it look appealing, and you just want to remember, just because you think it's a hot celebrity, people may not put a face with the name. So it's always good to use a photo of the celebrity when you're pitching it. Look who's got our stuff, just so that people don't feel dumb. Because the minute someone feels dumb or like they don't know what it is that you're so excited about, they feel shy, and it's, click, done, delete. I don't want anything to do with that. So
that's an interesting point, because I agree. I've interviewed some really incredible entrepreneurs, but they're maybe not household names, but maybe you might recognize them if you saw a picture of them. This brings us into like a copyright potential problem, right? So where can we actually find good photos of our celebrity? Might it be, what would you think about that? What would you recommend?
So usually I'll tell people they should go buy a photo.
Okay.
And you can usually get one for $40 or $50, and that's the best way. Or you can try Googling free images of the person's name and see if you can find anything that comes up free.
Yeah. Well, because again, a lot of business owners, they're hesitant to throw good money at bad, spend money. But quite frankly, if you've got a major celebrity who's wearing your product, who's using your product, you want to go all in as quickly as possible.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, even if the photo is 500, to get something like that out right away, I'd snap it up and get it going. Because you don't want to sit on news like that, because it does become old news pretty quickly, especially if they post it on their social media, right? And if they are someone who posts daily or a few times a week even, it can move down very quickly in their feed. So you want it to stay alive. And, when you send it to magazines, you want them to be able to click on the celebrity's social media page and see the post. You don't want it to be, a week later, well, I didn't get around to it,
depending on the product, it could be seasonal too, right? Like
exactly.
My wife would argue that I'm very fashion forward, maybe. But yeah, I know that I at least know that fashion does not stick around for very long.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that. Just making the most of the moment. And those are some great tips here from Sarah Shaw. posting it all over the place, sending it to brands, sending it to magazines, sending it to local news station. What are some mistakes? What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make when they're trying to reach out to these influencers and they're trying to get these celebrity endorsement? What are some big mistakes we can avoid, Sarah?
I think people often want to tell a lot about their own company. Like
Mm,
somehow they're selling themselves is going to make the person like them more or make them feel more credible or something. Ixnay that. You want to just do a short, like 3-line little intro in the beginning and then make it all about the celebrity and why they're going to like your product.
oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Stop talking about yourself. Talk about
Mhm.
them.
Them, the benefit to them, why they want it, how cute they're going to look in it, how cute their kid is going to look in it, whatever the reason is that you're their husband, their kitchen is going to look great using this item. So whatever it is, make it about them. And I think consistently, a lot of entrepreneurs feel they have to justify to people why they're doing what they're doing or
Mm.
what's so fabulous about them or their product or my pink sweater is so fabulous because 72 items I can tell, so it's like nobody cares really. I mean, if it's slow fashion or doesn't leave a carbon footprint or something like that that's going to be important to the celebrity that you're
Mm.
reaching out to or the store or the magazine, definitely hit on that. We leave zero carbon footprint if that's your case, and then you're reaching out to celebrities that care about zero carbon footprint or magazines that write about it or solar this magazine or whatever, right? So if you're relating to a specific um, cause or some kind of specialty in the, we don't use whatever you make diamonds, we don't use blood diamonds, right?
Yeah.
So whatever is attached to that. And so there's always I think you're going to always do better no matter who the influencer or celebrity is or magazine or even a store or even your online shoppers when you can relate to the core issue of why they would want your product, not just because it's pretty, or useful,
Yeah.
right? It's not like you're not selling them water.
Yeah, it's the
So,
societal or social benefit. I mean, we're seeing this pop
mhm,
up all over the place. Tom's, I think, was one of the big pioneers of that by,
right.
hey, for every pair of shoes you buy, we're going to give away a pair of shoes.
Mhm.
That just makes you feel good. It
Yes,
just, it
right.
just makes, because at the end of the day, that's what products are for. I mean, there's utility, of course, but for a lot of products, is how does it make us feel?
Mhm,
Right.
right.
What are the great features? How does it make it feel? So, I mean, this is really, really good stuff. Before we get into the question and answer here, I do want to talk a little bit about the evolving way that influencer marketing is done, right? Because, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of our episode, but now just having like 1 million followers on Instagram makes you a celebrity to the right mark. And this is one of the crazy things about actually working with these influencers. A lot of times they'll say, hey, send me some cash and I'll make a post. What are your thoughts on paying an influencer to share your product? What are your thoughts on that, Sarah?
I've never paid for anything
Okay.
ever. And so me personally, and so for me, it just depends. Like I'm so pragmatic. I'd be like, all right, I need to see how many products you reviewed, how much money did those people make, how long did it take, what was the return? I mean, if someone says, hey, I paid someone $5,000, but I sold 50,000 worth of product, I'd be like,
Mhm.
sign me up today. But my whole fear about the influencers, kind of like what I was saying, you can buy as many as you want, but if there's not a lot of interaction and engagement, to me it's worthless. So I think if you could contact the influencer and if they can put their money where their mouth is and you say, hey, how'd that go? Or you call the person that they did the product review for and ask them, how did it go? And if everyone's willing to share the numbers, then I would believe, if it feels truthful, you believe them, and then it would feel financially safe. You know,
Yeah.
I just feel like so many people are experts, right? Of course, I'm saying I am too, but I can prove that I've done this, right? It's all over the internet. It doesn't matter what people think, really. But I mean, it does, but it doesn't, because I know I'm not lying, but there's so many people out there who will tell you, I can get you this, right? Like the minute someone says, oh, I can get you in this magazine, I'm like, yeah, bye-bye, because
Yeah.
unless your daddy owns it, you can't promise me that. So, you can sure get it in front of somebody, just like a lot of influencers might say, hey, I can get your pink sweater in front of my 1 million people. But I can't, if they're honest and say, I can't tell you if any of them are going to want to buy it, that would feel
Yeah.
honest to me. Right. But if they say, oh, yeah, pay me 5 grand and I'm going to, I know at least 200 people are going to buy it, my answer is going to be, how do you know?
Yeah, I'd
Right.
want to, like you said, you definitely want to see some sort of number, some sort of social proof.
Hmm.
Like you said, especially if you're going to be paying them to create that post. I mean, it's one thing if you say, "Hey, put this link in your bio," and every time someone purchases, we'll set up an affiliate link for it.
Totally.
That's a little bit easier because you're not going all in up front. You're not paying them. You're not selling the
Exactly.
product.
Right. But I don't even mind sending product. Like for me, unless you're selling diamonds that cost a fortune or some fancy jewelry or a fur coat, right? Most things are pretty affordable as far as marketing goes to be
Yeah,
able to send your necklace or your shirt or sweater or whatever you're selling or the baby product. When you think, like I usually say to people, it's just the cost of your product when you're doing your own outreach, right? You're sending it to maybe you try 10 celebrities and see if any of them post. Because if one of them posts on social media or sends you a thank you note or something, or a magazine just happens to pick it up because you say, Sarah Jessica Parker is wearing this thing of ours, they might say, oh, great, and just put it in. Or maybe they'll call her people and say, does she have this? And she'll say, yeah, I love it. And they'll put it in a magazine. I mean, that could be worth, you know, I've made over, when I had my own companies,
millions.
I'd made over hundreds of 100,000 on a post,
Yeah.
or in a magazine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I think, and you talked about this a little bit during a little bit earlier in our show, is use that social proof, blow it up, make it look nice, make it look crispy, and I would also encourage everyone out there, don't be complacent. Leverage that social proof to reach out to the next influencer and the next influencer
Exactly.
with the next product, because you see this on Shark Tank a lot. Right. I don't know if you watch Shark Tank, but
Of
well, you
course.
probably do. Barbara Corcoran.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Right.
see this on Shark Tank. Someone's like, we went viral on Instagram and we sold $100,000 worth of product, but then we floundered for 6 months, right?
Mhm.
And so it's trying to keep that fire, which is a tough thing to do. And of course, listen, you go to sarahshawconsulting.com. She's going to give you a free consultation, absolutely free to you
Totally
from her,
free.
and she's gonna walk you through some of the strategies that are specific to your business. And I know all the after hours entrepreneurs out there are always looking for value. So Sarah, thank you for bringing it today.
Sure.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I've got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.